Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Gabe, and today I'll be talking to you guys about how I doubled my money. Super simple, super easy. You guys can do it too at home. I know I'll be talking to you guys about something that's kind of controversial because there's a lot of scams out there, a lot of things that just don't seem realistic. But today I'm going to be showing you a real way to be able to double your money, to be able to sell stuff and make a profit. So today we're on Google, and we're going to go ahead and head over to, ebay.com. Alright, cool. I know most of you guys have probably heard of eBay. Who hasn't, right? Okay, so on eBay, what I'm gonna look up is MacBook. There we go. Okay, now why am I looking up a MacBook? Let me tell you why. Okay, so outside of YouTube, my real job, what I do for my job, I do IT. Now, what I find easiest to sell is something that's pretty popular, something that's constantly in demand, something that people want. Computers, people are always going to want them, especially Macs. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm myself a PC guy. I don't prefer Mac over PC just because PC has a lot of other functionalities. But for today's video, we're looking at Macs because Macs are hot, Macs are easy to sell, and I made money off of Macs, okay? So, what are we going to do? We looked at MacBook. Now we're going to go into auction, and we're going to go into ending soonest. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because if we go into an auction, we have the opportunity to buy stuff cheaper than what it's worth. Time ending soonest because we don't want to see something that's going to be $100 higher 5 days from now, but looks like a really good deal today. We want something that's going to be pretty similar to what's displaying. If right now we take a look at the first computer here on the list, we see it's on there for $560. 1 minute left. Probably not going to go up any much higher than that. I could say it'll probably go up to around 580, maybe 600 if people are constantly bidding on it, but it probably won't go any higher than that. And this video can apply to anything that you guys are interested in, anything that you guys have a niche for. Myself, the reason that I'm looking up computers again is because I work with computers. I'm pretty good with computers. If there's an issue with the computer, I can fix it. Now, if you guys are good with phones, if you guys are good with, I don't know, game consoles, any other thing, it could be jewelry, anything. If you guys are good with that, then I would recommend going to eBay and trying to find an auction. Try to get it at a good price and try to make a profit. Now, like I said, for myself, I'm looking up computers, and you guys can do this too. We're looking up computers. We're looking through here. 560 doesn't seem like a good deal. We're not going to make much money off of that, if anything. Okay, 540 doesn't seem like a good deal again. 760 too high. So we want to look for something that's a little bit lower. All right, right here we have a MacBook Air 2010 11-inch. That sounds like a good deal. You know why? $71. Let's click into it. You always have to read the fine print and make sure there's nothing wrong with it. And if there is something wrong with it, you have to make sure you can fix it. Let me tell you guys something. I bought 2 MacBooks that had issues. I bought them for parts and I flipped them. I made twice my money on each. Why? Because there were issues that were easy to fix. There were issues that were non-expensive, and there were issues that I had experience with. First computer I bought had an issue with the operating system. It was sold as not turning on, not booting. Okay, I took a risk. I decided to buy it, and it wasn't necessarily that it wasn't turning on. It was that it was in a loop, so when it would turn on, it would immediately crash and turn back off. Now, what did that tell me? That told me that most likely the operating system was corrupt. In the ad, they did mention that after updating it to the newest software, it was having those issues. So it was a safe assumption for me to assume that the operating system was bad. Now, I took that computer and I bought it for $100. That was a MacBook Pro 2011, I believe, for $100. That's a steal. Okay, I bought that for $100 and I was able to sell it without any issues for $200. That might not seem like a lot to some people, but I doubled my money. So even if you're only selling it for $200-$300, depending on what you buy, you're doubling your money. All you have to do is spend maybe an hour looking through eBay, trying to find good deals, and it isn't an hour, you know, back to back to back. The time, it's an hour throughout the day. You spend 5 minutes on eBay, maybe in the morning. 5 minutes on eBay, maybe an hour later from that. 5 minutes on eBay, maybe at noon. So it adds up to about an hour a day of little times that you're looking at eBay online, at auctions, maybe during work, during a break, during school, maybe when you get a chance, right? And this really pays off. because with that 1 hour a day, split up into little intervals of time I was putting into looking into buying a new computer or used computer to sell, I was able to double my money. I invested $100 into it for the computer itself, and then I was able to sell for $200. Now, upon arrival, I was able to fix the issue with the computer. And the reason it went for so cheap wasn't because it was a bad computer. It was just because it was having other issues other than that. I knew that the charging port wasn't good anymore and it was going to need to be replaced because the laptop, when I connected it, it wouldn't charge. And I disclosed that during my sale of the computer, and I made that very clear during my transaction. But I was still able to sell for double my money. Now, I could have probably bought the part and fixed it myself, but I just thought it'd be a good idea to sell it then and there versus spending more time on it, investing more money into the parts, and so forth and so on. And the other computer that I was able to sell was also a MacBook. This other MacBook, only thing wrong with it was running slow, and that was about it. Now, what I did, I went ahead and upgraded the OS to the latest version, which does make it seem like a better, computer. If you're buying an old computer with an old operating system, you're less likely, to buy that. But if you have an old computer with the new operating system, people are more drawn to that. Not necessarily because the computer is good, but because the operating system will sell them on it, because they don't let them know how good it is. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you're not gonna buy, an old car with a lot of miles on it. You're gonna buy an old car with a low amount of miles on it. Same thing with the computer. You're gonna buy an old computer that can run the latest operating system, that has the latest operating system on it. Even if it's not the latest computer, if it has the latest operating system, it feels new to you. Okay, so that computer, only thing I needed to invest into was RAM. I got the computer for about $80. Now, RAM, if you guys don't know what that is, random access memory on your computer. Without memory, your computer runs slow, which was the issue with this computer. It was super outdated, running the RAM that came factory. I spent about $20-$30 to buy new RAM for it. It wasn't a lot, and again, the computer cost me like $60. I spent about $30 on this part. I was able to rack up everything at the end, and I only spent $90, and I sold it for about $200, I believe, as well. So again, I was able to double my money, and it was also a MacBook Pro. And off eBay, I was also able to buy myself a MacBook Air that had nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to buy one for myself, which was a good deal. So if you guys are also looking to buy something for yourself, you could also do it on here. But taking a look at this MacBook, it's a MacBook Air 11-inch 2010. Okay, we're gonna look down at the description. This is where you really want to pay attention to, because this is what's going to tell you how much money it's going to cost you to buy it after the auction, and how much you're going to make, because you're going to buy it for so much, right? But you're still going to have to put parts into it. So I like to think of it as how much am I going to pay for it now and in the future, not just how much am I paying it for it now. Because if I can get it for $100, but it needs $200 worth of work, it's not costing me $100, it's costing me $300. Same thing with this one. We're going to take a look at it. Okay, so it says dense and expanded battery. What does that mean? That means that the computer was dropped. That means it was probably left in the car, probably overcharged, something that caused the battery to become damaged and expanded. That means the battery is swollen. That means you're gonna have to buy a new battery. That's causing the casing to swell. Like I said, it's swollen battery, not good. Still works, but needs a new battery and new power cord. Power cords are not cheap. Battery, maybe if you buy used, maybe if you buy non-OEM. I can include the one I have, but it doesn't work well. Took it to Apple Store on January 7, 2019, and had the computer restored to factory settings. Would work best if you have a wireless keyboard and mouse. We'll include a cord so you can hook the computer up to HDMI monitor or your TV. Okay, so there's a lot to take out of this little section right here. For one, battery expanded, needs new battery. He or she also mentioned it in the post that the battery's bad and that it's going to need a new one. Okay, and on top of that, he mentioned in here that it's going to work best if you have a wireless keyboard and mouse. Now, why did he or she mention that? They didn't mention it just for the fun of it. The reason that they mentioned that it's going to need a new wireless keyboard or mouse to work, best with it would probably be because the keyboard and mouse were damaged. Now, for you guys that don't know about Macs, they do tend to have the battery right under where the keypad is and where the mouse area is. So if the battery gets swollen, that could affect the mouse pad from working, that could affect some of the keys from working, that could affect the body of the MacBook, which isn't good, right? We don't want to buy something that's going to be damaged goods. So I would probably have to skip on this one. And although it doesn't look bad from the picture right there, if you take a closer look, you can see it looks kind of weird, kind of funky, right? The computer doesn't look too bad itself. It turns on, which is good. You want something that turns on. Trust me, don't buy something that doesn't turn on. Probably water damage, probably gonna lose your money. But what about this one? This one, it looks good, but doesn't function good. Cause look how it looks dented right there. It doesn't look right. It looks like it's swollen. It looks like it's arcing. That isn't good. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right. So now if we take a look, keep going lower. Okay, there's one here for $100, and let's take a look at this one. Okay, so one thing that catches my attention right away, this is the old style Mac. If you're gonna buy something, you need to buy something that still is somewhat new, or at least something that looks new. This doesn't look new at all, so I would say this is a skip. You wouldn't want to invest money into that. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Alright, so this is a used MacBook, 13.3 inch, white color. Okay, so if you guys take a look, there's different types of Macs. There's metal ones, and there's a plastic, the cheap plastic white ones. I would try to stay away from these, just because the metal ones, they all kind of look the same. So they're more of what's in right now. If you have a 2010 MacBook Pro that's metal, or if you have a 2018 MacBook that's metal, they have similar features. They're both metal, versus this one that's plastic. This one might come off as cheap, and people might stay away from it just because they think it's older than it actually is, or they just don't like the look of it. From what I've seen, these aren't really popular on eBay or on off-road just because they're so outdated and so old. Okay, so let's keep looking. Alright, so here's a good one that I found. Okay, this is a MacBook Air. It's the laptop, and it's 11.6 inch, no hard drive, and it's only $240. Now, if this was at a lower price, I would say you should get it. And reason why, flashing folder usually means the operating system is bad. Operating systems aren't hard to put on there. If you get a USB and you download it onto there, you can restore it onto there without any issues. You can have it back and running, and it'll be good as new. This just means the operating system is bad. What you could also do is, if you put the computer into recovery mode, there should be an option to download the operating system, and you can do it that way and install a clean install. Now the reason that this issue is showing up on this computer, if you go up, you can see on here there's no hard drive. So usually hard drive goes bad operating system install, operating system decides to crash, or like it says right here, no hard drive, took it out. If this was any lower, I would say it'd be worth it, just because all it needs is a new hard drive. You can slap a new operating system on there, it's good to go, easy money. Alright, so continuing the search, here's one that's worth taking a look at. $71, 2009 MacBook Pro. Alright, let's see how this one's looking. Okay, so judging from the pictures, there's a little dent right there, but other than that, it doesn't look too bad. There's a flashing folder again. Folder just means it needs a new operating system, needs a new hard drive if it doesn't have one, or failed, or had a bad install. And a lot of these times when it has a flashing folder, I would probably try to go for those, because it's super easy for those people that don't know. You just need to install the operating system again, and it's good. Or a hard drive. Hard drive is not that expensive anymore. If you buy one on eBay, probably get a good one for $30. Won't be a solid state, it'll be one with the spinning disc, but still, if you're planning on selling it, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, what really matters though is we take a look at the description, because we don't want to get ripped off and buy something that's so good. Right here, 2009 MacBook Pro, no hard drive installed. That would probably explain why it has flashing folder. For $71, I would say that's a pretty good deal, if everything else is good. But let's keep reading. 2009 MacBook Pro, no hard drive installed. Don't know how much memory it has, so assume 4 gigabytes that it came from the factory with. Boots to folder with question mark, as there is no hard drive. That explains why. This is only for the MacBook Pro, no charger, accessories, etc. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So again, this is something to take note of. If it has no charger, that's probably something you're going to want to buy, just because someone that's going to buy a computer isn't going to want to buy a computer without a charger. What happens with that computer dies? They're going to have to go out and buy a charger, which is more money that they're spending on the product that they already need, right? I also noticed there was a different computer back here that was pretty much the same thing, a little bit cheaper. I'm not sure if it's the same posting. Go ahead and take a look at that. There we go. Yeah, this might be the same thing. I'll stay away from it if it is. Let's take a look. For parts not working, item does not. Okay, wrong area. This is for parts only, no charger, no boot, only laptop is included, installation of power cord accessories. So yeah, sometimes people will post, as far as, you know, for MacBooks and stuff like that, electronics, they'll tend to post the same thing twice. Why? I'm not sure. They might be trying to see which one does better, cancel the order on one, and then sell the other one to the highest bidder, right? So if this one goes for example $150, this one goes for $80, maybe they'll sell this one and then they'll claim this one as not being able to ship, not being able to sell, and they'll just go with the highest bidder. So you want to stay away from stuff that has two postings such as this, because it honestly looks like the same computer. I wouldn't doubt it if it was the same computer. It has a pretty much exact same description, exact same pictures for the most part. I would avoid stuff like that. But you know, you want to try to find something that's a good deal. My MacBooks that I was able to find on here, like I said, I was able to get them super cheap, and it just had to do with right time, right place. If I wasn't here at that time, someone else would have got that good deal, someone else would have made that money, someone else would have made that profit. Now as far as selling it, this is where I like to sell my stuff. OfferUp. I'm sure most of you guys have heard of this, but let's see. OfferUp MacBook. Right here. We're taking a look. MacBook 2011 early, $300. That's an iPad. It's a MacBook 2011 $470. MacBook Pro 15 $600. MacBook Air 13-inch $550. So like I said, you don't have to know everything about computers. You have to know a little bit to be able to make this work for you. I myself have experience with computers, so I'm more comfortable doing this. If you guys aren't 100% comfortable, that's okay. You learn as you go. Don't take a huge risk and buy something that's super out of your price range and you might not be able to make a profit on, or might be defective and you might just be stuck with it. But I would definitely recommend, if you can, try to get something for a good price on eBay. Go on OfferUp, compare to other computers how much they're selling for, and try to sell it for slightly less but still at a profitable price. So if you buy something on eBay for $100 like I did, go on OfferUp. If all these computers are going for example $300, just like the one I had, it was going for around that price. I put mine for $200. I'm not kidding you. I sold that thing in a day. I sold it in a matter of hours, just because it was such a good deal. Everybody wanted to buy it off me, and I didn't mind taking a little bit of a loss compared to what other ones were making, because I was still making twice my money. So again, if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. But if you guys can, trust me, go out and buy good deals on computers, go out and sell them, make a profit, because I made my money back. And this is by no means any advertisement for eBay or OfferUp. This is just my personal experience. I'm not trying to get you to buy anything from me. I'm not trying to get you to sell anything from me. I'm trying to get you to the point where you can make money on the side, a little side hustle where you can be making money. And honestly, it's not that much work. Alright, well, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a comment, leave a like. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe. Thank you.